Hey, everybody. It's a mystery who this is. It's PJama Life. We're going to start now. I'm the stranger for today.
Only the shadow knows.
But with me today are two heroes right here. Pat, say hi to the people.
Hey, everybody. Glad to see y'all. And if you haven't remembered that the stranger is one of the seven in the House of the Dragons, which we'll be talking about tonight. So Pam is death. Yes, that's basically what she is. She's death.
Da, da, da. And our other superhero guy, David. Say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. It's Fashion Week here at Pajama Life, where we talk about how and why the old red shirt has been replaced by the brown cloak. I cannot wait.
All right. Well, let's start off with the lightsaber duel to end all lightsaber duels with the Acolyte.
Carry a Jedi weapon, but you are no Jedi. What master hides his face from his pupil? You tell me. He doesn't follow the rules of combat. There's no method to his movements. He gets into your head. He stays there.
My mother could do that. Get inside a Jedi's head. What have you done? The Jedi got what they deserved. These lives lost tonight. Again, all because of you.
Ooh. Pat, looks like we lost another one. Why don't you talk about what you thought of this episode, Night of the Acolyte?
Well, as the only remaining man. Oh, Dave made it back. Okay, there we go. So, I liked this a lot. I mean, it was good to see getting a little bit more into the meat. We got some more action in this one. There was some really interesting bits about, and I got to tell you, it's jarring for me as someone who watched The Good Place a lot.
Yes,
see,
Lord.
to see Jason Mendoza like, oh man, being the Sith Lord, and again, this is a darker Jedi tale where we have Jedi not behaving in what we have grown up believing is the Jedi code. This is pre Clone Wars, pre Anakin, pre all that stuff. So there's a lot of things going on here that I'm interested in. First off, he finally figured out to start cutting up lightsabers. Kudos to him. Because you haven't seen that really in many of the other movies. There's a couple little bits and pieces, and maybe Clone Wars, with Count Dooku, or not Count Dooku, but like General Grievous against Obi-Wan. But I mean, there was some, but to really see it being taken to a logical extreme where you start, oh yeah, I can't hit you. Oh, you know what? I can get your lightsaber though, and without lightsaber, I can totally get you. I mean, there was some really interesting stuff. Some big death. Without giving spoilers, there was definitely a bit of a bloodbath thing kind of going on there. And Master Ko is still, I get him, I like him a lot. He is a good Jedi, and as far as the character they've developed and the actual actor they picked for it, I'm excited about him. I mean, we still got episodes to go to figure out how they're going to get this all tied up. But, I mean, you got a lot of, and I knew that twin thing was going to become a deal. It's going to become a deal. So, I mean, oh, look, I'm not Asya. I am May, I'm just like, we'll see how this goes. I'm still digging it. Still in there. I'm in it for the long haul. But I do enjoy kind of the darker take on the Jedi because, nobody's perfect.
No, I don't like a darker take. But this was an action-packed episode. They finally got to it. They still haven't got to the reason, which, I think they need to hurry up and get to what really happened with the women of the planet and why they were all laying there dead. And everybody's like, not it. But but in reality, something bad happened and they need to get to it because there's only 3 more episodes. So this is the fourth act or final act. So they need to get to it. I really was kind of shocked and not happy about the deaths that made it. I was very happy because my prediction was correct about the stranger and who it was. But I loved him in The Good Place, and so it hurt my heart to see him as a.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, they're going to be so good this year.
But I saw an interview with him, and he really was, which was interesting, was his take on the two characters. Because if you notice, the other guy was, kind of goofy and kind of a lot of energy, very energetic. But him as the Sith was very still and said very few words. And so he decided that the stranger would be very controlled and very very sparse in his language and movements. And I thought that was a really good take to distinguish between the two. And I think that it's so surprising, and his physical body kind of changed with it too. So, and I was so liking it too. But if you thought he was handsome in The Good Place, oh my goodness, a bad boy is always super handsome. So, but we did say goodbye to some characters that I was kind of like, wait, what? But I'm still, I don't know how they're going to handle this twin thing. And I'm kind of concerned because, hold on, OSHA still knows who OSHA is. So what's going to happen? But you know who our favorite knows who they are. The little cutie pie knows who they are. So I think it'll be interesting to see the little cutie pie let everybody know that the Freaky Friday situation is at hand. David, what'd you think?
Well, I tell you, this was, in my mind, the best episode.
Oh, by far. By far.
It really was. Now, depending on your take on the show, that's a very high bar. It was a low bar to climb. But I do think this was the best episode. The action was great. I don't know how surprising it was who the stranger, who the Sith Lord was, but the best dialogue and acting really has come from this actor. From this guy has really, in my mind, when you see the switcheroo and who he was, when you look at May and OSHA, and you've got the same person playing two different roles. And I think Amanda's done a fine job, but there's not a lot of depth in either character. Good, bad, anger, happy. It's there. But what Manny's was able to do with his little assistant, but truly the master, or what we think is a master, that was great. I love the fact that they were serious in terms of being bold with killing off people that we would have expected to continue in the show. So, but everything's open for that. The lightsaber fight, when you watch it a couple of times, it has a few weaknesses there. I thought there was a lot of great motion and things that was good. Wouldn't have been. I mean, it was called night for a reason. But there were some aspects of the choreography on the fighting that I think could have been improved. You had some Jedi that clearly just seemed to be tagged out during scenes, just waiting to die. Oh, I'm dead. You were in. and then we'll kill you. The
but
fact
David, you should have liked that since you like wrestling.
Well, yeah, that's true. It is kind of a wrestler's move there. That took away a little bit in my mind from the battle. And apparently, every now and again, Disney will go and take something from the old Legends comics. This metal that the gauntlet and the helmet is made of actually does short circuit for a short time. Lightsabers. That actually was something that we saw in Star Wars comics.
Oh.
I did not know that, so I did some research this week.
Is it a special metal?
It is a special metal. It's not Beskar, but it's something that you would see.
Unobtainium?
Maybe that. Maybe we'll see. That might be what it is, but it's something in the High Republic comics.
Oh, wow!
So there it's coming in. So that's a very deep cut. Nothing for people to be offended by, but it was a new wrinkle here that we're not normally seeing with this. But Kymar, man, his character, his dialogue as he was doing things, that was really just the brightest part of this show through 5 episodes. Definitely got the Parent Trap thing going on here, and I don't know what's gonna happen.
Let me say something about that switcheroo. As a Black woman with braids right now, I'm sorry, but you cannot flip your hair, use a saber, and then flip it back, and it look like. I'm gonna tell you right now, that stuff would have been unraveling and undoing. So that was some bullshit about the episode that I
okay. So let's just go back.
Did that on no.
Okay, believability. Okay, you're picking on that about people that have light, beams of light that only extend so far and can cut through everything and can use a mystical force, and that's the most unbelievable thing.
Yes, it is. It's the most unbelievable.
Sure.
Fire is a campfire on the side of a spaceship.
They could have done something else. That was some bull. Go ahead, David. I just had to point that out for all of us out there.
They did have a campfire in space in a vacuum. So I think there are a couple of things. Now, I got to tell you, though, as hot and as strong and powerful as a lightsaber is, even if it could do that nice a job on a dude, man, you don't want to get it that close to your face.
Exactly.
But, there is a big tattoo on May's forehead, so eventually she's going to brush her forehead or the wind's going to come by, and Saul's going to see that. I mean, these Jedi don't seem to have a great sense of awareness to them in a lot of ways, but I think he's going to notice that. But Basil will be there to the rescue unless he gets shot out the escape pods before he gets a chance to talk.
Oh, but I was gonna say something, but it might spoil it for people. But you know what I'm thinking. So I'm hoping that this continues on and it just goes up from here because it was kind of plateauing, but now we needed to kick it up. 6, 7, and 8 episodes need to be like. They better go fast on those. All right. Next up is, oh my goodness, one of the saddest scenes in all of the Game of Thrones episodes with House of the Dragon, Rhaenyra the Cruel. Let's take a peek.
The search progresses. The villain will be found. We mustn't be shaken by this. Some good may yet come of this. A funeral progress. Let them see the child. Let them look upon the works of this pretender to the throne.
Behold the works of Rhaenyra Targaryen, pretender to the throne.
I think you used my words as an excuse to take your own revenge.
It was a mistake.
can't see me, I gotta go first because one of the best lines and one of the worst scenes were the best line was when Otto called Aegon trifling. I was like, that's like when your grandpa is sitting up there talking about the kids in the neighborhood, and he's like, "Ugh, them kids is trifling." And so I was like, that was one of the realest lines that they had in the whole show. Now, one of the other scenes that I was like, "Oh no, they better not," was when the baby was being paraded through the city, and the wheel got caught, and I was like, they bet not have that baby's head roll off that processional onto the ground and somebody step. I was like, no. But that was really heartbreaking. But the more heartbreaking was the little dog crying for its master who'd been hung. I mean, I was just like, okay, that hurts for me for real. That was so sad. And the brothers fighting was so sad. Y'all should have watched it by now, so this is spoilers. But the brother scene was just incredible. I did not want to see that happen. And I was just so heartbroken. But it was brilliantly acted by they're twins in real life, and they did a phenomenal job of the emotion of that scene was just incredible. So kudos to them, and this was a really great episode. But I didn't think the show could get darker, but I fear it will be extremely dark after this. And I've got some questions I want to ask our guru over here once he gives us his take. Pat, give us your take on it. You've read the books and you are our guru. What's up with it?
This is a low bar for me to be the guru. I mean, I read the book a couple years ago, and I do enjoy George R. R. Martin. I wish he could finish something for... don't get me started. But, man, I do like the dark takes. I mean, I know you guys tend to be...
I know this is your villain era.
This is. I know y'all tend to be a little bit more. You're definitely Jedi, and I am definitely Sith.
No, don't say that, my friend.
In this scenario, I do enjoy the dark, and I enjoy this because I mean, this is. Man, I guess maybe it's because I'm old and I've seen a lot of TV and I've read a lot of books over the years, and I do enjoy watching the anti-villains or the actual villains because the world works more like that, and to me, that's a little bit more realistic, I guess. Perhaps I know I'm talking about realism when there's dragons flying around and people who don't get burnt because they're Targaryens, but yeah, this is politics 101. These guys and Matt Smith, man, I hate to see the Doctor go so darn bad, but man, he is killing it literally and figuratively.
Yeah,
I mean, he's really just leaned into this. I mean, and I understand a lot of actors get that point where they have to really just kind of try to shake off their image because they were in an iconic role for so long, and people always see them as the good guy or the bad guy, depending on what which actor you're talking about. But when they come through and they play this against type, and they just nail it so good, man. Matt Smith is killing it.
Yeah,
I do enjoy this a lot, and I mean, it's been 6 days since I've watched it because I usually watch on Sunday night because the new one will come out tomorrow. For those of you that are wanting to watch this stuff, this is from the episode that came out last Sunday. So it's been a few minutes. So again, spoilers shouldn't be much of a spoiler at this point. But yeah, man, I do enjoy the darkness of this. I mean, and if you didn't watch the original Game of Thrones or the first season of House of Dragons, and this is surprising to you, you weren't paying attention because this is some dark stuff. These guys are not afraid to kill major characters, not afraid to kill children, push them out a window because you're sleeping with your sister. I mean, terrible things that happen all through these books. And man, George Martin leans into it. So this is good. I'm loving this.
Okay, you villain. David?
But I'm with you on that. I think it was the seeing the kid, the decapitated with the sewn on head, that was rough that we saw. And yes, I was waiting for Sarah McLachlan or somebody to have a sad song in the background when we saw the puppy. And I mean, it just goes to show you can saw off a child's head, but you still might have a love for a dog. So I did feel bad for the doggy in that. It's a dark show. It's very much of realpolitik. Boy, this, and today with families, they're fighting over somebody's dresser drawer or the fine china. And then they'll almost come to blows over that stuff. Here they're fighting over a kingdom, and the children in the way there. Hey, there she is.
Oh, it's not a voice anymore.
Okay. It's a little technical difficulty. We're trying something else, so you know how it goes. Keep going, David.
Well, but I do enjoy this. Matt Smith is fantastic. And again, you know what you're getting into after several seasons of the original Starks and the war there with the joining the Black and all the great stuff with the dragons. So you know what you're getting. And so you just go in with your eyes open or your eyes shut if you need to for the gory stuff. But you're going to get high political drama. And I think, again, outstanding acting by folks. So this is really good. And also beware of the people who get promoted up to the point of their incompetence.
The Peter Principle.
It is the Peter Principle in practice right here in Westeros. So, but keep that, Sunday night's going to be a lot of fun to see the next one.
Okay, now I have some questions. Okay. Whose dragon was it who was flying over Alan's brother in the scene where he was digging up the cockles and the little crab? There was a silver or light colored dragon flying above him. Do you know whose dragon that was? Was it Laenor's dragon?
I want to say it was, just because I think they were set to watch those kingdoms.
Uh-huh.
I want to say it was.
So
but I'm not positive.
It's his dragon doesn't have a rider right now, right? It's kind of reverted back.
Right.
So I wonder if that young man is gonna be the dragon rider for the show. I don't know. That was a big question. I was like, well, whose dragon is this? And then what's her name? Masseria? Is that her name? The white worm? Okay, so she figured out the switcheroo. But was Eric remember when the lady said, "Hi, Sir Eric," and then he passed her and she was kind of like, wait, what? Is that his girl? Was that his girlfriend? That's how she was kind of like, huh? And in their story, was he sleeping with that girl?
I am not positive. I mean, like I said, it's been a couple years since I read the book.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't remember every detail, but I remember some of the broad strokes. I'll get right on that, ma'am. I'll have some time in the next couple of weeks to look at that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Pat is going to be away from us for a few weeks, and we will be very sad. I don't know why he can't put the phone up to his ear and do it, but
we might
whatever.
See where we're at.
Nothing's wrong.
Hey, if you guys want to take a chance on me with on good pain meds doing this, let's go.
That'll be a loopy show.
Just saying.
We're gonna miss him and let him rest up, but not yet, because we have one more show to discuss, and that is the spinoff of the return of one of the greatest shows there has been in the past decade, 15 years, Orphan Black Echoes. If you haven't, let's take a peek.
You're awake. Was I asleep? Not
what's wrong with me? Why don't I know who I am?
You may feel a little disoriented. You've been through a procedure.
What procedure? I have to face them. We have to figure out who we are.
Okay. Pat, talk about Orphan Black Echoes.
Okay, now I don't know how much either one of y'all have watched.
I've watched every episode more than once, baby.
So you're getting what I'm getting out of this, because I'm like, okay, first off, let's talk about Kristen Ritter, who is
that's just your secret girlfriend.
She's like the functional goth girl that every guy secretly lusts for. So she is really, I mean, she's got that damaged, but really is a good person type of thing that she put. I mean, you saw it in Breaking Bad, you saw it in Jessica Jones. I mean, this is where the things where she came from. This is her wheelhouse. I mean, this is her home. This is where she lives, and this is good. This is a good casting choice for her, because you're already halfway into believing that if you've watched any of these other shows, and I know we've watched one of them. I know Pam doesn't want to watch Breaking Bad, but I mean, it was super good. I mean, she was great and damaged and perfect in both of those. And here we have another example of her being a pretty good person, being a little bit damaged. And you see this kind of happening. And man, watching it, the revelation at the end of the first episode, because that's all it's out so far, is the first episode. And the revelation at the end, you're like, oh my God, that's who I thought. I didn't know that's who that was. And you're like, what? And she wants to talk to her aunt. And I'm like, oh my God. Because for those of you that have not watched this, you should be watching the entire Orphan Black. It is an acting tour de force by Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah.
Who would play multiple characters, and you could tell they're all multiple characters. She would play characters playing other characters, and you could tell that it was this character playing another character. I mean, there was some Inception level stuff going on here. She is
brilliant.
A goat. Yeah. She's a goat at that particular point. And this show, it got a slow start, I feel like. I mean, but all good things have to take a few seconds to build up. You had to kind of set some groundwork. This is in 2052, so it's further on down the line from where Orphan Black, the original series, was. You've got a lot of stuff kind of, it's interesting to see. There's things that I kind of rolled my eyes about, like, okay, we have this advanced biomedical facility with like just lights and just everybody just walking through big glass walls. And I'm like, oh, that isn't the way that works. But even in 2052, I'm just like going, no. But there was so much really, really well done with this. And like I said, this first episode is just so much setting the scene. There's a lot of that. And at the very end, they give you that super sweet hook teaser to get you to, man, I'll be back for the rest of them. I tell you, I love the show. I love the original. I'm a big fan of Kristen Ritter. And if they do the storyline right, which I feel they really will, I'm there.
I'm not there.
No. You tell. What is it about the show that you're not liking?
For that one episode.
I mean, I'm just not into it. It doesn't have the magic of the first series. It's a spin-off, and it's not spinning very well. You said Inception, this is the top that's falling over. It is not like spinning for me, and I just can't. I guess I've only seen Kristen Ritter in this, and maybe a couple of episodes of Luke Cage or Jessica Jones. I was trying to watch and I just dropped it. But I thought it was going to be something further in the future, like maybe 100 years or something like that. But it's 30-something years, and so you have some of the characters coming back. And
Possibly.
I'm kind of like, no. Either make it so that it's a new thing, or just continue on with the existing. And I don't think they've done that well. So I don't know if I'm gonna stick with it, but yeah, I don't know. It got to get better than this for me to hang on to it. And trust me, I loved Orphan Black, and I know I watched that show completely 3 times at least. I loved it so much. So, David, what you think?
Well, I don't know a lot about Orphan Black. I haven't seen all seasons.
Oh, okay.
You should.
It would be harder to follow if you haven't seen the first series.
Or easier.
Talked about it some, but you've got
could be easier.
Scientists, clones want to be themselves, individuals, people on the run. There's kind of a common trope from the Richard Kimball of the One-Armed Man, or the Hulk, David Banner on the run, the A-Team. There's all this stuff.
Decker from Blade Runner, yes, all of it.
So you got all this stuff. I am a big fan of Krista Ritter. She can do comedy and she can do drama. I think she's really can command the stage and be a lead protagonist. So love seeing her with this opportunity, and curious to see what happens with the show. So I'm intrigued, and now she's got a little mini me of her that she also took by gunpoint. I've never seen anybody with late at saber point, and whereas I am more common with seeing people at gunpoint. So she took that one girl. So I'm open to it. It's we'll see, but I think it's got a good cast. It'll harken back, no doubt, for better or for worse, to the original series to try and hook you guys who were the veterans. And clearly we're seeing one of you all in, one of you not so much, kind of dipping that toe into the lukewarm water. Yeah, exact. That's the face. That's the meme right there. I think this should be the meme. No, but it's okay. I'm open for it. It beats seeing a baby's head sawed off or hearing.
You didn't actually see that, but it did be seeing the little doggy wailing.
Oh man, that hurts me. That hurts me, brother.
Oh, okay. So, but okay, kind of a mixed review, but it's definitely probably all these shows this week, probably not for kids. Teenagers, yeah, but maybe not for children. But it's we're in our villain era, because next week we will be continuing with House of the Dragon, Dim Thrones, or Dim Dragons. Check out that Twitter feed if you haven't. It's hilarious. And The Acolyte, I'm excited to see where that's going. But next week, it's been 40 years, I believe, since the first Beverly Hills Cop, and Eddie Murphy is back in Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. I mean, in 40 years, he's still on the beat. He should be Congressman Axel Foley, like the distinguished gentleman.
Oh well.
Should have been putting money in 401k, because I don't understand why
what did he buy into a shopping mall that was a scam or something?
Bitcoin.
He for a Nigerian scam. What's going on? Why is he still on the beat? He should have been captain by now, at least. I mean, Olivia Benson was captain by now. So definitely we're going to check it out, and it'll be something hilarious. So come back next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and check us out. Y'all done had enough fireworks. Come and watch us for our type of fireworks. Pat, say goodnight to the people.
Everybody, good night. Keep going to the movies and keep them coming.
All right, David.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Look forward to talking about The Acolyte and all these other good shows as we go forward. Have a great week.
And definitely check out the Olympic trials. There's some beautiful things happening, some soul-crushing things that are happening. But is that the Olympic trials are one of the best things you'll see on TV, and support Team USA. And we'll see you next time. Take care.